Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away. Bodies move to the groove and the light that flickers. We get lost in the crowd, it's getting thicker. We get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air getting standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night away.
You're watching JJDrones on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Karl Marx. You're watching JJDrones on YouTube.
I'm Karl Marx and I approve this message.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
Live from the Volvo 780 studios. USA. This is JJDrones Live. And now, here's JJDrones.
And it's JJDrones Live, and it is dark in here. Let me turn on a little bit of extra light. But we got Ryan here today, so there's not really much of the intro music. We're trying something a little bit new, a little bit of a different setup, and it's Ryan's last week, so we're going to put him in the hot seat today. But before we do that, I just want to remind you that if you would like to have one of your videos featured on my website, you can email me, Jason at JJDrones360.com. And for everything JJ Drones related, you can go to JJDrones360.com if my mouse would cooperate with me. Here we go. And then if you're doing your shopping anyway on Amazon, you can use my Amazon links through JJDrones360.com/Amazon1. And if you buy anything on there, it doesn't really matter whether it's exactly what I have listed. You can buy anything you want. You just have to click on one of my links there on the website, and then it will actually give me credit for anything that you buy on Amazon. So if you want to help financially support the program, that's a great way to do so. And if you would like to add a video for the Blinker Fluid of the Week award submissions, just email Dan, droningveteran@gmail.com. And I just got a nice little message from Robert McMedia this afternoon. He got his coasters and he really loves them. So if you would like to order some of Haley's coasters, they're $10 each. You can do that through paypal.me/JJDrones. And I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. We've got Jill Bait and Tackle Outdoors. We've got TJ Giggles and Drones. We've got Brian from Cheesehead Media. And we've got Haley. And we've got my mom, Nancy Naylor. We've got my dad, Dave Johnson. We've got Dave from Gotta Love Thailand. Chris from Shade Tree America. Ted from Off the Hook Outdoors. And as I said earlier, Robert McMedia. So thank you all for coming in today. And Lane Maybe, thank you so much for coming in. Oh, hey, Christian, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you being here. But before we put him in the hot seat, we're going to bring up Dan because it is, how you doing, Dan?
Blinking.
And
How are you
Karl
doing?
Marx just joined. Doing great. We're out here in Nashville, Tennessee, and it is hot as heck. It's hot and humid and just absolutely miserable.
That is an understatement.
It's hot and dry here. We
Well-
don't like the humidity in Utah.
It's a dry heat.
Yes.
I would take that.
But I don't have my blinker fluid over here right now, but I'm going to grab it here in just a minute. Blinker fluid flavor of the week is, Dan.
I have no idea. Lemonade. Yeah.
Lemonade. That is a good flavor for today. And
It is summer.
Sadie is off today.
Oh,
Yes, it is summer. Yeah, Sadie's off today.
Deserves a break.
She does. But we're going to go right into our blinker fluid of the week right now. So it is time for Blinker Fluid of the Week, and Brian asked if I was watching both kinds of music, country and Western, and yes, listening to both.
We are in Nashville after
I am in Nashville, so we're going to actually look for, oh, there it is right here. Or wait, no, this isn't. All right, hang on. I have to do this. Stop sharing.
Technical difficulties.
Nope. I was doing it right. I just hit the wrong. I hit the wrong screen. So
One day I'll
here we
learn how to
go.
play this.
You will. You're getting better though. You're getting better. So here we go. Here's Blinker Fluid of the Week, week 15.
Week 15.
Oh, don't hit him, Dan. That's a little bit, yeah.
Uh-oh. We ran over
Yeah, I
it.
hope-
You know what, though.
I hope nobody was eating dinner because that's a little bit much. I apologize, everyone. Not really. It was funny.
It was Ryan's fault.
Oh, well, of course it is.
Ricky.
I'm just over here in the corner. Bleh.
Number one.
Number one is a viewer submission. So the black truck, if I understand it right, is driving in the park lane. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but that's the way I understand
Yeah,
it.
no. Yeah, that's correct. That's the lane where everybody's supposed to be parking.
Not driving, parking.
Right.
Like that black
There's
car.
there's no dividing line there. So basically, that's where everybody parks on the street. So that was fantastic.
Number two did pretty good when we was on our way to Idaho. And, I gotta pee.
Yeah, they decided that they had to pee at the last minute.
It happens.
Hey, when you gotta go, man.
Oh, for sure.
And number three, this looks so familiar.
Just a typical day in Utah.
Yes,
You know, everything.
they're using their blinker fluid.
They're using it. It's like, wow, am I in Utah? And you know, I mean, even that car there. Look at that. Oh.
Oh no! Oh, they just about missed that.
Oh, bear.
I made it.
You know, just a millisecond later, it would have been a crunch-tastic day.
It would have been.
Yeah, this one here, my wife's driving to work. You know, I mean, she's on a main road. That car there has a stop sign. Or does it? You know, I mean,
Well, they don't need us. Dan, what did we talk about earlier with the stop signs? If they have the white outline,
it's optional.
it's just a suggestion. That's right. It's just a suggestion.
Those are optional.
That's right.
Most
See,
definitely optional.
See, and even Ryan knows that that's optional. You don't have to actually stop.
Well, that's because you've been training him good.
Well, that's true. That's true. So I'm going to be putting into the chat. Now, we're going to have Ryan vote here in just a minute because I'm curious as to what he thinks is going to be the best one out of all those. But before we do that, I'm going to go into the chat and I'm going to put up the poll. And then we're going to do Blinker Fluid of the Week winner. Ryan's watching me try to type, and this is hilarious.
If only you guys could see this.
Okay, so I'm going to do
You need to get a multi-camera system back there, you know, so you got a camera behind you that you can go and show your typing skills off, because I'm sure they're excellent.
They're fantastic. Thank you, Dan. Okay, so for me, it's going to be number 4. For me, it's number 4. And Dan, who are you voting for?
I think number 3.
Okay,
Number
so
3
you're
got my vote.
Okay, so you're number 3. I'm number 3. And Ryan, who are you going to vote for?
Which one was the truck weaving all over?
That was number 1.
That's my vote.
Okay, so we've got 2 votes for number 3 with me and Dan, and then Ryan's got number 1. And if you're in the chat, instead of putting the number in the chat, go ahead and use the poll that I put up. Exploring with Drew, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you being here. And I hope everybody can hear everybody okay, because right now we've just got the DJI mics on, and it is oh, hey Janice, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. So we have the DJI mics on, but we also have the air conditioning running, and the reason that the air conditioning is running is for number 1, so that the internet stays constant throughout this entire show, and for number 2, we're in a truck and it's 90.
It's freaking hot outside.
Yes, so it is just hot and humid and just disgusting outside. And Dan, thank you so much for giving us that weather.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. Glad I could help. You know, you shared so much weather with me this past winter. I was just glad to return the favor.
Well, I appreciate that. And you know what? I will return the favor again this winter, I promise.
Don't say that.
So Ryan here is a great guy. And he's been working for Breakbush now in the shop for
Almost 5 years.
Okay, so right around 5 years. And so what made you decide that you wanted to go into the trucking field?
I originally wanted to go into the trucking field straight out of the Navy. I ended up calling Breakbush because I knew it was really close to where I lived. And they said that you know what, this delay is really messing with my mind. So I apologize if I get my thoughts seem to wander. But anyway, so I called.
It's okay, Ryan.
Hopefully,
we know you're a seaman.
Do you? I mean, I only did 20 years in the Navy. So-
lots of practice.
Anyway, back before I was interrupted,
You're welcome.
I called Breakbush up to inquire about a trucking job, and at that time I didn't really want to go over the road because I'd just getting out of the Navy. But I told them what my background was, and a couple weeks later they called me back and said, "Hey, we've got an opening in the shop right about the time you're getting out. So would you like to apply?" And I did. So.
And then when he was at the shop, you could find him sleeping in trailers because
No.
you know that's what most. No, he is actually a really hard worker. He was out there washing out the trailers, changing
Well,
tires.
because the trailers are about the size of the submarines.
Oh, is that what it is?
The medium-sized ones,
Beside the
anyway.
point.
I mean, he
And
had so
Dan
much
is our-
more room in the trailer than he did in the sub.
Oh God, yes. There's way more. I mean, you see how close Jason are sitting right now?
That's far distance
That's
right there.
that's
in the
like a
sub.
typical submarine day.
Yeah. Well, before we get too much further into this, I want everybody to go, and if you have a question for Ryan, because this is his last weekend with me, he's going to be off on his own. If I pass him.
He keeps threatening me with more time with him.
Yes, and I mean that's an awful threat. But so if you guys have any other questions for Ryan that I miss, do the hashtag hot seat and then put your question in. And Dan's going to be monitoring the chat and letting me know when a question pops up. Mark White, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. And hopefully somebody from Breakbush comes in as well sometime during the show. So you went through the shop, and then you heard that we had the training program because Junior went through.
Yep.
And then you went to Sabretooth up in Wapaka and went through their truck driving school.
Yep, that was a 3 week school. Went through them, and then it was a couple weeks back in the shop and waiting for Jason to get it ready to take me on.
Gary has a question. Gary says, my question for Ryan, have you donated to Wreaths Across America yet, 20-year naval veteran?
Not yet. There is plans.
Yes, he does have plans to donate to the fund, and that's actually a really good segue, Gary. Gary has a challenge up to everybody that if you're willing to put in the $7.50, he's going to match it all the way up to July 9th. So if you're willing to do that, just go to paypal.me/JJDrones, and you can donate $7.50, and then Gary will match it all the way up through July 9th. So that is going to be a challenge that he put out. And then if we reach $750 in donations, my dad is going to donate $250 to get us up to the $1,000 mark. Right now we have $150 in the fund. So let's get out there and let's get this show on the road, and let's get the donations for the Wreaths Across America. I would love to reach $1,000 for Wreaths this year. So thank you so much for the segue, Gary. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. I will put a little plug in there too, because it is a very worthy cause. And I tell you, I didn't know much about it until Jason explained it one night. Get out there, you can just buy something, donate something. That's it's as a veteran, it's very close to my heart, and I would love to see if Jason reached that $1,000 mark.
Oh, thank you very much. So getting back to your training now, what was kind of your expectations of the training program here at Breakbush?
I didn't really have I guess yeah, it happened so quick. I didn't really have a whole lot of time to form a lot of expectations. So I just kind of have been rolling with it. It's been a great program. I've had a lot of fun with Jason. Learned a lot too. So yeah, it'd be great if a lot of companies had a program like this.
Now, a lot of the stuff that you learned was food, where to find it,
Yes,
how good it is.
those are the great, important questions have been answered.
Still
Dan, we've
better
been
than
eating
Navy
really
food.
well.
Not better
Are
than
you
Air
sure?
Force food. Yeah, I've had some Navy food. It wasn't very good. I had a lot of
Well,
Army
you weren't
food.
in the
It
right
wa-
service then.
It wasn't very good either.
I mean, I was a submarine guy.
I heard submarine guys have really good service or really good food because one of the guys
For the
that I
most
worked
part, it's
with,
true.
he was in Vietnam with the Navy, and he was a sub guy, and he said he was stationed. I can't remember. Right after Vietnam, he was telling me his gut went from to
That would not surprise me.
so. Yeah, he was telling me just last week.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah, I'll believe you on the subs. I have not had no submarine food.
Yeah, I'll tell you, being on a submarine's a tough gig. If the food's bad, that makes it worse. So bad cooks don't last long.
They put them in the torpedo tubes, and that's where they stay for the rest of the whatever it is,
They
deployment or
call them patrols.
patrols. Okay. Crossover Paranormal Society, thank you so much for coming in. And yes, Gary, you are correct. 100% retention rate thus far. And it's all me. Okay? It's all me.
He is so humble.
Mark says that his cousin was a lieutenant on a Triton.
On the Triton or a Trident? Because the Triton was a submarine. That was the name of one.
Didn't that one
Trident
go?
submarines are the ones that carry the nuclear missiles. That's what I was on for the most part.
Ottercat, thank you so much for coming in and appreciate you being here. So obviously he's got a lot of time in the Navy. So the transition from going into a submarine into going into a semi, if there's other guys that are out there now, I'm not even talking about Breakbush. I'm just talking about anybody that's out there trying to get into the trucking industry, that's trying to make that transition from, I don't know, being in a sub, for months at a time to being in a semi. What kind of advice would you give for them if they were looking to get into the trucking industry?
Really, it's not that big of a transition for me.
You do
I
have
will say
windows
that
now.
the cab is about. I didn't catch that. Whatever.
You said that you have windows now.
Well, we have windows. There's a periscope.
Oh yeah, the periscope that don't count.
Yeah. Sure it does. Those are windows.
That's true.
No, nice thing about being on the road. Once I get away from this guy, you're on your own, which you learn a lot about that being in the Navy. So, thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Mike, for coming in. I appreciate you being here. If you're not familiar with Mike, he's the big boss man over there at Breakbush Transportation, and I appreciate you coming in and watching as we make fools of ourselves down here in Nashville, Tennessee. Mark says, yeah, the Trident carrying subsea used to be gone for months at a time in the UK Navy. Nobody ever knew where he was.
That is the whole point of a Trident submarine. They are the most survivable link of the nuclear deterrent for any country because they go out to sea and they hide. And everyone knows that there's a nuclear submarine out there, but they can't find it.
Well, Karl Marx, he came out with 3 good questions, and I'm going to ask these to you, and then you can answer them in any particular order. And thank you, Karl. I knew that you'd come up with some good questions. He says, did truck driving school prepare you more for on-road skills or more mental information? Did they use simulators also there? Would you recommend trucking school to future drivers or a company driving program if they had the option?
Well, I'll start with the second question because it's the easiest one. They did not have any simulators there. I went to Sabretooth up in Wapaka, and basically from the first week, about probably day 3, we were in, a semi-truck. I was in an, it was an International 9400, something like that. And they teach you how to drive it. So that was kind of the same way Jason did it. Just kind of throw you to the wolves. Now, granted, at the school, there's this guy sitting right next to you, telling you exactly what to do, but you gotta do it. And it's very similar to what Jason did. The first time we left on our first trip, he put me in the driver's seat and said, "Let's go." So there's only been a couple of times where Jason's driven, and I tell you, I think having him do it that way was a good thing, because I got a lot of experience, and then I could see what he did and adjust what I did. Kind of just, especially shifting through the mountains. I was having some issues with that. Watching him do it one time, and you could ask him, it was like a switch turned on.
Yeah, night and day difference. And it actually helped me, because as a trainer, there's so many different people, and people learn how to do things differently. And with Junior, I was able to do it to where I could just tell him everything. And with Ryan, in order for him to learn, he actually had to see it physically done. So just learning how he learns was a huge benefit to me. And after we got some experience in with him actually watching me do things, it actually helped him tremendously. So would you recommend trucking school to future drivers or a company driver program if they had the option?
I don't know, is that 2 parts to that question? Because yes, both. Absolutely, the trucking school was a lot of fun, and they teach you a lot of stuff. Now, granted, it was only 3 weeks, and they cram a lot of stuff into that 3 weeks, but it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. And then going into the driving program, it just builds on it. Now, as far as like the truck driving school preparing me for road skills or mental, it was more of a road skills type of thing, I think. The mental aspect is coming more as I get on the road more and see more from the driver's seat in the real world.
I don't really think that you can really train somebody for the mental issues, or not even issues. I've got mental issues, but with
Understatement.
Right, exactly. But I don't think that that a truck driving school can actually mentally prepare you for what is coming on the road, like going to the West Coast with going through the mountains and the different traffic situations you have out there. Going to the East Coast, he's learned from being on the West Coast of the country all the way back to the East Coast of the country that there is a difference in the drivers. Even in the Midwest, there's a difference in the in the drivers. And in Utah, they're the worst drivers in the country, and Dan has proven that. So, so I don't think that you're able to actually mentally prepare somebody to be into the trucking industry until they actually get into the truck. And even though they're with a trainer, the one thing that I try and do is I try and give them their own personal space. I try and give them a place to put their own clothes, a place to put their own things. And then, at the end of the night, he gets his bed, and then, I leave him alone and let him have the rest of the night to do whatever the heck he wants, because this is training him. Okay, this is the way that we have to do things so that we can get up and make our appointments on time and different things like that. So in order to get that mental, and the mental part is all about time management. And Dan, you know this as much as anybody, is that trucking is all about time management. And if you don't have that skill, it's something that you have to learn, and you have to learn quick. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble.
Yep, you'll find yourself sitting at the side of the road going, ain't got no hours.
Yeah. We may or may not have seen people sitting on the side of the road with no hours.
Very true.
And some of them that I've seen parked just right past a rest area, not even a quarter mile. It's
Those are the funniest ones.
Ottercat says, a Packer shirt in Nashville, don't get out of the truck. Yellow Rose Drones, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Seeing some new faces tonight. I appreciate you guys coming in. Chris asks, let's see here. The only question I would have would be if Ryan learned about the importance of not being overloaded.
Yeah, we learned that in Boston.
We did. And what happened?
Well, we left the fish place 200 pounds over, and we found that out when we got to the scale.
Yep. We were 300 pounds over.
Oh yeah, we were
over gross. We were good on our drive axles, and we were good on our trailer axles. We were over on our steers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was 43,200 pound load. So that put us 320 total over. Yeah.
So he kept me out of the truck, and I just walked home. No, we had to go back to the customer in Boston, get some product taken off.
That's where the helium comes into effect. Make sure you fill the tip trailer with helium.
Oh, is that it?
Pro tip.
Dan.
Where were you last week?
I was sleeping.
You obviously weren't in Boston.
Mark says, do you teach them which truck stops are good to stop at and which ones to avoid? That's a hard question. I'll let you answer, Ryan, and then I'll interject after.
Well, if you have to stop, I would think that any truck stop is a good place to stop. You may have to lock your doors, but yeah. No, he has been pointed out some of his favorite spots. Some that are maybe better than others to stop at, as far as like ease of parking and good places to eat and stuff like that.
Well, the biggest thing about truck stops today, okay, and Dan, you can interrupt me at any time if you disagree with me, but the truck stops of today are not the truck stops of yesterday. They're no longer truck stops. They're travel centers. And the truck stops have actually changed their dynamics, so they're trying to actually attract the general public as well as the truck drivers. So they have different, security out in the parking lots, and they have, a bunch of customer service and a bunch of stuff that make your stay at truck stops a little bit better. One of the biggest things that I can say is the reserve parking. 9 times out of 10, they work fantastic. And that's one thing that I've been teaching him. Use the reserve parking if you think that there's ever going to be any doubt on whether you're going to have a place to park. And then using the tools that are available, like Trucker Path. How much did we use that yesterday? How much time have we spent using Trucker Path?
I don't need a lot.
Yeah. Dan, do you use Trucker Path?
I do. Not every day, but I do use it quite a bit, especially if I'm going out somewhere.
Right, because you want to have that. You want to have that backup so that you actually know what's available for you to park, and then guys like you and me, we already kind of have a general idea where we're going to be able to park at night, right?
And you got to know what skill house is open so you can go around it. I mean, no, we never do that.
No, nobody does that anymore.
Never.
Let's see here. Gary asked, if Ryan had any experience evading the enemy in a sub, he should certainly have ideas on how to avoid way stations. Fantastic point, sir.
I can neither confirm nor deny everything.
Touche. But if you watched our first training video that Ryan and I did together, it was out there in LA, and there were a few of there's some few funny outtakes that we had in that video. But we had a lot of fun doing that. And then I've got one more training video from when we were up in Boston that I'm going to be starting to work on, and hopefully I will have that available on Wednesday.
You haven't put that out yet?
No, not yet.
Oh.
So
I hope it has that Boston accent.
Oh, I didn't even think about.
Oh.
Darn
But
What? Probably ad-lib some stuff in.
well, yeah, we could probably do something like that. Yeah. But what was it like now? This is a unique experience because there's not going to be too many trainees that have to deal with somebody that has a YouTube channel and does it on a regular basis. What would you say to somebody going through training that actually has somebody that has a weekly show like I have every Sunday, or just a YouTube channel in particular? What kind of advice could you give for that?
I had no clue that I was going to be a YouTube star. So I kind of wish I had brought my makeup kit and stuff like that. I maybe would have trimmed up the beard a little better. I wasn't prepared for the masses looking at my pretty face.
So Dan, what I heard there is that he has a makeup kit.
I heard that too. I won't tell nobody.
It's on the makeup, as in makeup, make believe.
Let's see here. Mark R. White says our best ones tend to be Lebanese with a decent fast food trailer parked up in it. That sounds good. Let's see. Carl asked, will Breakbush ever pull doubles, turnpike doubles, or triples? Could that be possible with your workload? The only issue may be parking for the night. No, we're not going to be doing doubles.
I don't see that happening.
Or triples anytime in the near future. But if we do, I will be calling you to learn how to do it. And then Gary says, where did you park the rig in Boston? On the
the first time we parked on the side of the road. Oh, I said my Midwest came out.
Yeah, your Midwest came out.
Huh.
And then Carl asked, do you tire chain practice in the summer, Jason? We haven't done that. I don't really feel it necessary to do that right now because I don't think that he's going to be going out west. But if it ever turns out that he is going to go out west and he needs to have the tire chain practice, I will do that for him. But the one thing, well, you don't even have to worry about watching YouTube because the policy is that if they offer to put the chains on for you, we will get reimbursed for it. And they prefer for us to do it that way because they're professionals at doing it.
I want to get reimbursed. I'll put your chains on.
You need a tax ID, buddy.
It is
Just rattle off some numbers, you'll be good.
But no, I've actually considered doing the chain practicing in the summertime, and we just fit so much work into these guys throughout the course of the 6 weeks, and I know that I could fit it in somewhere, but it's not so pressing that it needs to be done right away. And I am actually going to be doing a video for Breakbush as far as training people on how to chain up. So there is going to be a Breakbush video. We're in the works of working out the details on how to do that and where we're going to do that, stuff like that. So definitely watch for that video.
The hooks go into the tire, correct?
Yes, exactly.
The hooks go into the tire.
Well, that's how it stays in one spot.
If it hooks into the tire, it's good to go. It won't move.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Good job, Dan. You are very well versed in the ways of chaining.
Yes. Much experience. Too much experience. But on a serious note, every like I do this every winter before the winter gets in. Every year I will put the chains on just as a practice, just so that, because when the snow's blowing and the water's dripping, it's no fun. So every year
I don't see that being fun ever.
Before this, I mean, it's not even fun when the snow's not flying.
Right.
But when you're getting wet, throwing those chains, it's not a fun day.
No, it's not. Ottercat says the chain practice takes a backseat to doing makeup.
Yeah. Funny thing about that makeup thing, putting together my stuff for my shower kit for the first trip, looking for my damn box, I could not find it. You know what happened? That became a freaking makeup box for my daughter. Oh,
Dan likes his answer better.
Yeah,
but okay, so another question for you. How much did I preach to you the importance of your pre-trip and your post-trip inspection?
You constantly do, and you're still doing it. So,
why don't you tell them the little thing that I did for the first week?
are you talking about the quarter?
Yep.
Yeah, he'll hide. He goes around and hides a quarter somewhere on the truck. Just normally someplace where you would normally look anyway. And then the one day put it someplace where the quarter fell, and he couldn't even find it.
I couldn't find it. I put it underneath the motor, and then I closed the hood quick because I thought I saw him coming. So the quarter fell, and well, we lost it. But I did get $1 today, so it came back to me fourfold.
Yeah.
75% profit. Can't beat that.
Exactly. My dad says, sure, blame your daughter.
Actually, it'd be my wife. She's the one that put the makeup kit together.
There you go. Gary says, I bet Ryan is going to be a driver for Mary Kay Cosmetics.
How do they pay?
They pay in makeup.
They do. They do.
I don't know about
And
that.
pink cars. Is it pink cars? I think it's pink cars.
Yeah, you get the pink cars with Mary Kay.
Oh, do I get a pink truck?
Mike, if you're still in the chat, you can answer that. Ottercat says, kick a few tires and fire that sucker up. So out of your travels, you've done about 13,000 miles now. Oh, Mike says your pink truck is on order now. So
sweet.
So there you go.
I like it. I can't wait to see it.
I'm gonna hold him to it.
Out of your West Coast trips and the East Coast trips, what are some of the times that are more memorable from those trips, and what are some of the times where you were just like, man, this sucks?
There were very few of the man, this sucks type of moments. I mean, we're getting
No,
to
I think it
getting the
was the
scale
driving
house
through
and
Utah.
realizing that we were overweight. That sucked.
Okay. Yeah.
Straight up, that was probably the worst fun. There's been a few times where you're like driving through. Nebraska wasn't too bad. Illinois today. Yeah, we drove pretty much the entire length of Illinois, north to south, and it doesn't change much. So, but I knew that coming down. There's been a couple of times in like those Midwest or like the Great Plains states where the scenery doesn't really change. Other than that, it's even driving through traffic's not too bad because, well, like Dan with the blinker fluid, you get lots of entertainment.
Yes. And we've actually met some really interesting people and have seen some very interesting things on our trips.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We actually saw in Omaha, Nebraska, we were driving through and there was this pickup and he hit a bump and it literally looked like the driver's side tire was going to fall clear off of the truck.
I have no idea how it stayed on the truck. Looked like the whole rim and tire and everything was going to separate. Like I was sure that tire was coming apart.
And then we had a driver out in California that we helped back in next to us because we had to unhook the trailers because he wasn't going to make it, and he ended up being a really great individual to talk to.
Really nice guy.
And who else? There was somebody else that, and I can't remember where we were at, but they just ended up being just a really cool person that we were able to interact with. And I apologize if you're out there watching, and I'm sure that you're not, but if you are, I apologize. And you can email me and yell at me for making that mistake. Okay, Gary, you have a serious question for Ryan. Go ahead and ask it. Brian says Illinois always sucks, and so do the Bears.
Yeah.
And then Mark asks, will you ever be an ice road trucker?
I don't know. Does Breakbush send you up there?
No, but if there's a contract coming my way, let me know.
Right. I do have is it Brian from Cheesehead Media?
Yes.
I do have a question for you. Do you know why the trees in Wisconsin always bend toward the south?
We'll see if he answers. That's a call out to you, Brian, at Cheesehead Media. If you know the answer to that question, go ahead and put it out there. Robert Max says, Ryan, do you prefer driving nighttime or daytime? I know the answer, but I'll let you answer it.
I prefer driving at night because there's less traffic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the only problem that I taught you about driving at night. Gary says, I forgot the question. You kept talking. I fell asleep. Well, you know, if it's really that important, Gary, you'll come back to it. But the one problem that you run into with driving at night is the fact that
finding parking.
Yep, you will not find a place to park. And Brian has the answer. Let's see what he says. Because Illinois sucks so bad.
That's only part of it. The real answer, why all the trees in Wisconsin bend to the south, because Illinois sucks and Minnesota blows.
So Robert Mack used to drive truck. After he retired, he became a truck driver, and he drove all out on the West Coast in California. So he was very he liked to drive at night, and you could probably tell why after driving out west. Carl says, Ryan, I have to depart. Remember to be safe, get out and look. Expect the unexpected, but try to have fun. Jason passed my number along to him. If I can assist any way when he's on his own, if you decide to pass him, you general have a good evening. Gary. Carl, that is very generous of you, and I will give him your number. Carl is a great resource. He's been in the trucking industry since he was in diapers, so he's a great resource to turn to if you have any questions.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate that.
Before Carl
Go ahead.
Did he ban me or something? I'm not getting any of his messages on here, and I'm on live chat. I've been like scrolling and scrolling.
No, he's coming on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
you're posting all these questions. I'm like, where are they at?
Well, hey,
If I was on Facebook, I know.
no, look. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen where his picture is, there's a little Facebook marker. It says Facebook.
Well, I'm not that smart.
Brian says, what does
something.
Iowa...
I think it's supposed to be a Y.
Okay, why does Iowa not have a professional football team?
That one I don't know.
Okay.
I think I've heard that before, but I can't remember.
We're going to find out here in a minute. Let's see here. Robert says California traffic will drive anyone from California, and that's probably it's probably true. We sat 6 hours. That also helped with your shifting, though.
Yes. I will say that after driving through LA, Chicago, and Boston, I would actually prefer to drive through LA.
Karl Marx banned me too, droning veteran, ever since the red nose video. I don't think so, Gary. In fact, I think Karl Marx probably approves this message. Let's see.
You're watching JJDrones on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Karl Marx. You're watching JJDrones on YouTube.
I'm Karl Marx and I approve this message.
See, he's perfectly fine with that. Yep, it just got approved. So, let's see here. Mike has a message. Few things, fellas. Ryan, thank you for your service. Jason, thank you for the fantastic job you do with these guys. Rumor has it we will have a few WAA graphic trailers coming for this year. Yes. Awesome. Guys, if you don't donate now, knowing this is... You got to go out there. You got to donate. Go to JJDrones360.com/donate. Gary is matching $7.50 through January 9th. And then when we hit $750, my dad's going to throw in $250, and we're going to get to that $1,000 mark. And rumor has it that there will be a few Wreaths Across America graphic trailers coming this year, so that when we're out there actually doing the volunteering for Wreaths Across America, we will have the branded trailers. So
that's awesome.
That is fantastic, Mike. Thank you so much for giving that information. Or I'm sorry, thank you for starting the rumor. I appreciate that.
We do have our answer from
that
Brian.
is. I'm sorry, July 9th, not January 9th. I apologize. And the fundraising is going until Thanksgiving, so it couldn't have been January 9th. So, but we've got enough money for 10 wreaths right now. Last year we donated 15. So we're already almost to where we were at last year, and I want to far surpass that. So any donation you can give, Jason at JJDrones360.com/donate. You can buy some merch. Anything that you buy is going to have the profits from that donated directly into it. And then if you just want to give cash, just hit any of the links on that page, and it'll bring you to my PayPal. And I can't thank everybody enough where we're going, or for what you've already given. And basically that's been Dan and Gary. Paul C says, where's his hat? Well, his hat is on order, so we're still waiting for that to come in. He doesn't know about that, so thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
La.
Gosh.
Let's see here. Gary says, JJDrones, will the delivery for Wreaths Across America be going to the same cemetery this year? I'm not sure. That is going to be up to transportation and Mr. Mike up there. So I'm not sure which cemetery, and then we're going to have to see what one that I'm going to be going at. I have heard that we're going to be going to right. I heard that one of the cemeteries we're doing this year is Wapaka in Wisconsin. So that is one that I'm pretty sure that we're going to be doing. Peterson Farms in Nashville, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Now, before we get to the end of the show, I just want to thank Ryan, first of all, for his service because, I mean, you put in a lot of time of your life into being in a submarine with a whole bunch of guys. And I can't even imagine what that would be like because just doing, just doing this job out on the road by yourself can be hard to handle sometimes. But going out there, putting your life in danger for the freedom of this country, I greatly honor or admire you for what you did, and there's nothing that you can do to repay that. But to make this training as fun and making me want to come to work because we get to hang out. That's basically what we do. We get paid to hang out.
That's about it. Yeah.
And it's been great. And so I appreciate it. And I know that you're gonna pass your evaluation tomorrow, and it's gonna be good for you. And I can't wait to hear about your experiences when you get on your own. So any parting words that you would like to give?
I don't know. They put me on the hot seat again. That kind of like the first time you put me on the YouTube thing. It's like, hey, get over here and talk to these guys.
Before you say anything, Brian says, why does Iowa not have a professional football team? Minnesota and Chicago would want one too. Mike says, we have the same locations, but maybe looking at one more. And then stay safe, guys. Thank you so much for coming in, Mike. And, he doesn't have to come in at my lousy show. But I do really appreciate you being here and watching as I do the exit interview with Ryan here. Ryan, any parting words?
It's been fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out and doing it on my own.
And your pink truck.
And my pink truck here.
Truck? I have a question though. How many times did you make Jason go?
Only a couple times.
Only a couple.
That's good.
I think that's only been the birds.
Yeah. He did kill a bird once.
At least one.
Yeah, at least one.
At least one.
We felt the thump of that one.
I
left some feathers.
Funny story. So I was in Montana, and a bird landed on the highway right in front of me, and I ran it over with my steers. I looked in the mirror, and it was what? I hadn't killed a bird. It's been a hot minute since I killed a bird, so.
Robert Max says, thank you, Ryan, for serving. And Peterson Farms of Nashville says, good luck and stay safe.
Thank you.
Paul says he was getting paid. Just saying. Let's pull out a participation trophy. Well, speaking of participation trophies, we have a winner of Blinker Flute of the Week. And the winner of this week's lemonade flavored Blinker Flute of the Week is number 3. It's the winner. So congratulations, number 3. You are the winner of the you are a winner of the lemonade flavored Blinker Flute of the Week, brought to you by the Droning Veteran.
Just send me your address and I'll get you a bottle.
There you go. Chris says, I hit a squirrel I hit a squirrel once with a car at work. I took it back to the office and put it in the freezer.
Sounds like a good place to put it.
Dan kills more birds with. No. Dan's trying to talk over me so that the truth doesn't come out. But Dan kills more birds with his drone than his big rig.
Couple.
Paul says, let's do a poll. Who gets the biggest animal? Or who got the biggest animal? That would be Paul. Paul got a buffalo.
Ooh.
Yeah, he hit a buffalo. But we are at the hour mark,
Came that close to an
ladies
elk
and gentlemen.
once.
Well,
So
that
it don't
close
count.
isn't actually hitting it. Nope.
Yeah, don't count. Yeah, I'm not
Well,
complaining.
what if you hit a whale?
But before we go,
you Brian wins.
Or a shark?
there you go. I think he wins. But before we go, this is one thing that we tell each other all the time, and knowing is half the battle.
And the other half is blowing shit up.
That's right. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. We'll see you
Have a good
guys
one.
next Sunday on JJ Drones Sunday Get Together.
Now my wheels in